Type in a Google search, Instagram makes me, and here's a picture depicting what you might find. Depressed, ugly, sad, insecure. What does that tell us about social media? How can social media affect your self-image? So an interesting phenomenon that I came across with my students, specifically with female students, though I do see it with male and female students as well. I have mostly female students. I teach ASB, and they'll post pictures of themselves and they take them down if they don't get enough likes. So I started doing research and I started looking, what does this mean? I typed in things about social media and self-image and self-esteem, and I came across this huge amount of information about things that women do online or ways to get more likes. And I thought it was interesting. But this 17 magazine article was really interesting to me because it says the subtitle of the article is "Don't deny it, you delete a pic if it doesn't get enough likes." And it listed the number around 150 in the article, but the idea being that women are putting themselves out there, and if they're not receiving the proper response, then they're taking it down. And the implication of that, the implication, we might shed some light on it. Susan Kraus Whitborn is a PhD who wrote a blog on Psychology Today, and she talked about this very phenomenon. She referred to it as presenting, or social media is presenting the opportunity for women to objectify themselves. They're portraying themselves in a certain way in order to draw attention or likes. Uh, Most often, in that case at least, they're doing it in such a way where they're maybe showing more clothes or trying to do something to be sexy. Tila Tequila is the perfect example. She's famous for being the most popular person on MySpace. She had the most friends, and she was able to turn that into a career. So people tend to be visual, of course, and social media is consumed visually, right? We're looking at something. We need it to be pleasing. It needs to be beautiful. And when we're posting pictures of ourselves or of our lives for others' consumption, we feel like it needs to meet a certain standard. So, are we being visually pleasing? Dove found in a survey, excuse me, that 11% of young women before high school look to public figures or social media to find out what a beautiful woman looks like. But in high school and after high school, that number rises to between 25 and 29%. So, how does it really affect someone's self-image? Well, this another Dove study can shed some light on that. Women tweeted about 5 million disparaging tweets about themselves and the way that they looked specifically. And the same study found that 78% felt that the portrayal of women in public and in social media was unrealistic. They couldn't accomplish or achieve it. And the phenomenon goes beyond just the physical, but into other aspects of people's lives as well. College USA Today interviewed 23 Chicago students, and they basically found social media made them feel bad because their lives weren't as good as other people's. So here you can look at a few quotes that they had, but basically they felt like other people were having more fun than they were, and that they needed to post things that are more exciting to look like their lives are better. They had fear of missing out. All the students surveyed had this same fear, the fear that their lives weren't as good as others, the fear that they weren't doing as much as others are doing. So we as educators, our job in dealing with this phenomenon is to inform the students of what's going on, help them to understand that what they post and the likes that they get aren't important, even though that can be difficult at times. It's the first key to helping them battle these issues. And here are my references. Lots of references. Thanks. Have a good night.